Production funding for Flying Squirrels Insider is made possible in part by
Secure Testing Services, providing 24-hour on-site drug and alcohol testing for businesses.
and by
Clean water is one of our most valuable resources. Conserving it should be all of our responsibility. Remember every day to make every drop count. Wash full loads, take shorter showers, turn off your faucet. Water, use it wisely. Let's commit to conserve.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Flying Squirrels Insider. I'm Trey Wilson alongside Jake Eisenberg, and we're excited to take you behind the scenes and give you a look at everything that's been going on with the Richmond Flying Squirrels of late. Utility Buddy from the City of Richmond Department of Public Utilities makes us aware of Richmond's natural gas safety program. Getting ready to install a fence or put an addition on your house? Contractors, homeowners, and do-it-yourselfers, call 811 before you dig. Text to win free Flying Squirrel stuff. Text FSI to 63975. Message and data rates apply, and mobile services provided by Opt-in Technologies. Well, Jake, it's been a while, but we're back. Flying Squirrels Insider's back on the air.
Yeah, I feel like it's been, almost a month now.
Yeah, it's been a little shifting around a little bit with the All-Star game and everything else. There's been a lot going on in Flying Squirrels land. We have a lot to catch up on over the next little bit here in this evening's episode. So the Flying Squirrels hosted for the first time ever the Eastern League All-Star game back on July the 10th at the Diamond. It was part of an entire Eastern League All-Star week. We're going to see a little bit more of that a little bit later on in this episode, but taking a look at some of the Flying Squirrels performers in that game, the Flying Squirrels led the league with 7 All-Stars this season. That's a franchise record and a great representation of a team that was hosting the event.
Yeah, 4 position players, 3 pitchers for the Flying Squirrels, and they all played really integral parts in the game and giving the Western Division a 5-0 win.
For the Flying Squirrels, Jalen Miller drove in the ballgame's first run. He was one of the All-Stars, and makes sense. He's the Flying Squirrels RBI leader.
Yeah, he's now tied for the team lead in RBIs with Jacob Hayward. That's happened recently, but at that time, Miller had been the best run producer for the Flying Squirrels. We saw later in that game, Jacob Hayward hit a home run, and then on the pitching side, we saw great performances from Caleb Berriger, Tyler Sear, and Melvin Adone.
Caleb Berriger got the win on the mound, and Jacob Hayward went on to win the All-Star Game MVP award.
Second straight year that a member of the Flying Squirrels has won the All-Star Game MVP honors, and what better way to do it for Jacob Hayward than to hit a home run at the Diamond during the All-Star Game.
It was the only home run of the All-Star Game. It's a pretty expansive park. We didn't think we'd really see any, but hometown player came through and got one. On the field in the games that count, the Flying Squirrels have had some varying levels of success in 2019. While the wins and loss record hasn't really been all that exciting, the individual storylines of some of the players on this team have been. And of late, we've seen some newcomers who have really contributed to the success of the Flying Squirrels, starting with Bryce Johnson.
He arrived just at the tail end of June and really gave the Flying Squirrels offense a bit of a jolt. He then went on to have an 18-game on-base streak, the second longest streak that the Flying Squirrels have had from a single player this season.
He had 356 during that streak, and he added a 435 on-base percentage. Johnson has brought a little bit of spark and life to an offense that was a little bit stagnant before he got here, and he's been a lot of fun to watch so far. The second longest on-base streak this season. He's also got the highest batting average on the team since he made his Double-A debut back in June. So Bryce Johnson has been an exciting player to watch. The same day that he arrived, the Flying Squirrels added an infielder and utility player by the name of Peter Maris, and he's also given a bit of a lift to the offense.
Yeah, both Johnson and Maris arrived from San Jose on the same day, and they both immediately made an impact for the Flying Squirrels. Maris has been batting over 300 in his start with the Flying Squirrels. Another excellent addition to the lineup. Hadn't played as consistently early on as Johnson did, but once he's been in the lineup with more consistency and more regularity, he's really shown that he's going to be an able contributor.
Peter Maris hit .310 over his first 16 games with the Flying Squirrels, the third highest batting average. He has the third highest batting average since he joined the team, just behind Johnson and Janeshri Fargas, and he can play multiple positions, so he can get in the lineup pretty much every day because you can pencil him in at third base, shortstop, second, the outfield, wherever.
Yeah, we even saw him DH a couple days ago.
Yeah, that's true, and he's been a much-needed lift for the offensive side for the Flying Squirrels. One of the players who's been here all season, we've talked about him a few different times on this show, is Janeshri Fargas, who has lived up to some of the expectations that he had coming into this season. After a slow start on the base paths, he has now collected 37 stolen bases this season.
Well, Janeshri Fargas led the California League in steals last year, and it looks like he's going to be leading the Eastern League in that category this year, and that was really propelled by an otherworldly month of June where he shattered some Flying Squirrels records. He
stole 21 bases in June. No player has ever stolen that many bases in a single month before, so Fargas becomes the first person to do that. He's also now tied for the third most stolen bases in a season in Flying Squirrels franchise history, and we're just in the middle to late part of July. So there's still more than a month left in the season for him to catch Kelby Tomlinson's record from 2014 when he stole 49 bases. So that's a pretty good run of stolen bases for Janeshri Fargas. He's also hitting .275 over his last 29 games.
Yeah, Fargas has been a spark plug, much like Johnson and Pete Maris. And when it comes to that stolen base record, a little over 40 games left, 12 steals to tie, 13 to take that single season crown. Looks like we might see some history of the Diamond this year.
For the Flying Squirrels pitching staff, we've seen Garrett Williams, the starting pitcher for the Flying Squirrels, who has really led the way in the rotation of late.
Yeah, Garrett Williams has found the stuff that made him a top prospect coming into this season, especially with a great curveball. We saw him spin 7 shutout innings a few starts ago. He's lowered the walks, which was kind of his problem at the beginning of the year, but Williams has become a lot sharper on the mound, and that's led to some great results.
And in the bullpen, the Flying Squirrels have seen some success from 2 guys who we saw have a lot of early success. Now they're starting to find that groove again, and both of them have found some new rankings in the Baseball America Prospects top 30 that just recently came out, but Rafi Vizcaino is the first one who comes to mind.
Now, Rafi Vizcaino is a guy who wasn't necessarily on everyone's radar coming into the season, but he's more than made his mark. He hasn't allowed an earned run in 10 of his last 11 appearances. He's been a guy that Glenn Dishman and the rest of the coaching staff is confident in when he comes out of the bullpen.
1.04 ERA since June 11th for Rafi Vizcaino. He's been great of late. A 1.08 ERA in the last 20 games for Melvin Adone. One of the top relief pitching prospects that the Giants have.
He's probably the most exciting pitcher to watch in the Eastern League right now with the fastball that has gone over 100 miles an hour a lot this season, more than we can really count, and he pairs that with some really sharp breaking balls, a devastating curveball, a great slider. He's been fun to watch this year.
Melvin Adone hit 103 miles per hour with one of his pitches in the Eastern League All-Star game, reaching back for a little bit extra to show off on the biggest stage of the year. Well, on the field of late as a team, the Flying Squirrels, they've had some success on the road. They've gone 8-6 away from the Diamond since June 20th. And won the series in Hartford behind some timely offense and some good pitching.
Yeah, the Flying Squirrels seem to be a much better team on the road, and they play at ballparks that are a little bit smaller than the Diamond. That helps the offense a little bit, but the pitching staff has also risen to the occasion on the road as well.
At home, it's been a different story. The Flying Squirrels are 6-22 in their last 28 games at the Diamond. Nearly got no hit twice on the last homestand.
Yeah, it's hard enough to say that might happen once in a season, let alone twice. But the positive side of that is that the Flying Squirrels never been no hit in franchise history. That remains true today.
They have been one hit 6 times now this year, so flirting with that line throughout this season. Offense is down around the entire Eastern League this year, though the Flying Squirrels are batting .219 on the season, which would be the lowest since the 1972 Elmira Pioneers in the Eastern League's history. But the league's average is also lower than it's been since 1971. So while the batting averages may not jump off the page this year, that's been the case all across the league. This has been a very pitching-dominated league in 2019. And shifting gears, taking a look back at, speaking of some dominating pitching, a young man who we saw with the Flying Squirrels last year who really came on hot in 2019, Connor Menez, has now made it to the major leagues. He made his major league debut just a few games ago for the San Francisco Giants.
And it was a great major league debut for Connor Menez. Started this season with the Flying Squirrels, got promoted to AAA back in May, and now Menez becomes the 64th former Flying Squirrel to debut in the big leagues, and the 3rd this season. 6 strikeouts across 5 innings against the Mets this past Sunday. Another Flying Squirrel in the bigs.
And Connor Menez is the first Flying Squirrels player from the 2019 Flying Squirrels roster to reach the major leagues, one of we expect to be very many. We mentioned a little bit ago, the Eastern League All-Star Week was a few weeks ago here in Richmond. We're going to take a look back at that and see everything that went on with the Eastern League All-Star game at the Diamond, the Flying Squirrels' first time ever hosting that event.
1-2. There's a liner into left field. Jacob Hayward on to make the catch. And there is one away. Batted in. And there's a grounder to short. Run coming home. Trejo has one play at first, and he gets his man, but the run scores to Wiseman. And he lines one into center field. Lee battling the sun. That's going to be over his head, and rounding third and coming home is Barrera. And the throw is not in time. He will score, and the West has doubled their lead. It's now 2-0. King here was part of the home run derby last night. He gets into one to left center field, all the way to Wallach, one down. Great defensive play out in left field by Forrest Wall. That's going to allow Hayward to score from third, though, and it is 4-0. Gets it in for this lead as well. A fantastic catch out in center field by Jose Azucar. And he gets into one to left field. It's high, and it is into the night.
Looks up in the booth and says, Lane Casadante, I've got my own identity, and I can do this. He did it last night in the home run derby. He does it in front of the home crowd. What a thrill it is. It'll be interesting to see if they don't lose anymore.
That 102-mile-an-hour fastball just missed. And that will do it. And the West has a tidy 5-0 victory.
MVP of the 2019 Eastern League All-Star Game from the Richmond Flying Squirrels, outfielder Jacob Hayward.
And we're back, and we're excited to be joined here this evening by Zach Houchins, a member of the 2019 Richmond Flying Squirrels. Zach, thanks so much for coming out and joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Zach, this is your first season with the San Francisco Giants organization, but it didn't start that way. In the beginning of the year, you were a member of the Angels organization, the only pro ball organization that you had known, and the time with them came to an end, and you ended up joining the Giants. How'd you get here?
Well, got drafted back in 2014, and then, played 5.5 seasons with them. Leading up to this year, started out in AA this year with the Angels, and, ended up having my wife and I had a son April 25th, and I played about 4 games when I got back from being with them, and Angels ended up releasing me. And then 5 days later, on Mother's Day, they ended up calling me. The Giants called me and picked me up, and probably second best day of my life.
I tell you, from the day that you got here, from the early days on, now you did struggle your first couple of games with the team, but once you found that groove, you got rolling, and it didn't really seem to slow down for a while. It seemed to be a nice rebirth for your career.
Yeah, man. This would have been my 3rd year in AA with the Angels, and just showing up to the field every day with them, it was getting old, man. I just had a son. I was kind of over it, but as soon as the Giants picked me up, it just kind of, something lifted me up and rejuvenated me, man, and this has been awesome.
Not only did you have a great open to your time with the Giants organization and with the Richmond Flying Squirrels, but you were selected as an Eastern League All-Star in a pretty small sample size of games that you had played. What did that mean to you to get picked as an Eastern League All-Star in your first season in this league?
It meant a lot. Just Didn't really have too much success throughout the 5 years with the Angels. Never have I been a All-Star. I've been a postseason All-Star, but doesn't mean too much to me. But the fact that I came in here, made an impact in the Eastern League and with the Giants, and was able to play in an All-Star game for the first time, and especially in our hometown for the Flying Squirrels, yeah, it was awesome.
What was that experience like? The Eastern League All-Star Game, sold out crowd, almost 10,000 fans, and there was a pretty heavy cheering lean for the Western Division team, and especially for our hometown guys like you.
Man, that was just it was so much fun. Just the amount of people that were there, just everything going on, man. The home run, well, I guess the home run derby, the hitting challenge, that was a lot of fun. Just laid back, watching all these good hitters, just go at it and swing. And then we finally get to the game, and you see the best of the best in the Eastern League, and what more can you ask for? It was a lot of fun.
It's been a big year for you. New job, new employer, of course, and an extension to your family. What's fatherhood been like for you so far?
Not too much sleep. Just kind of hanging out with him is when I get the chance to. I wake up, get him out of his crib, and hang out with him for a few hours before I have to go to the field. It's the best time ever, man. He's awesome. Couldn't ask for a better son already. So hopefully he stays like this.
And by luck of the draw, you end up being assigned to Richmond, Virginia, which isn't too terribly far from where you grew up. As far as AA minor league baseball goes, this is about as close to home as you can get, being from northeastern North Carolina, being an East Carolina alum. It's kind of a home field advantage for you, right?
Yeah, this is awesome. AA with the Angels was about 14 hours away, and now I'm here, and we're about 2 hours away. I can't complain.
So we're rolling into the final, about a little over a month left in the 2019 season. For yourself, for you, and separately for the team, for the Flying Squirrels, what do you want to see over the rest of the time left for this 2019 season?
I got some stuff I need to improve on, and one of our hitting rovers just came in yesterday, and he challenged me to a couple things, and that's the things I need to improve on to be a better hitter. Not only at this level, but the next level. But yeah, as a team, we need to start winning more, playing as a team more, obviously. But personally, I need to, think I need to drive in more runs.
Well, you've had a lot of success on the field so far in your time with the Flying Squirrels, as brief as it has been to this point, but a great first season for Zach Houchins with the Richmond Flying Squirrels. We're going to step aside. We'll come back. We're going to talk about the 10 years of Flying Squirrels baseball, celebrating the 10th season of the Richmond Flying Squirrels this year, and we'll take a look back at some of the things that have gone over this last decade.
For the future for the Squirrels, I see us getting more popular. I see us continuing to make a lasting legacy, lasting impact on people's families.
Happy 10th anniversary! Hey, happy birthday, Squirrels. Love you, Nutsy and Parney.
Happy birthday, Flying Squirrels.
Happy 10th birthday to the Richmond Flying Squirrels. We just love having Richmond baseball.
Hey, I'm Mayor LeVar Stoney, and I want to say congratulations to the Squirrels on their 10-year anniversary, 10 years in RVA, and it's been so special.
When you talk about the future, of course, people talk about the ballpark. Are we going to be in a new ballpark? Well, we hope so. Our fans deserve it. We do have some great facilities here, but I think that's an area that we need to grow in. Just think about if we had a state-of-the-art minor league ballpark, that's going to make an impact in Richmond on a whole bunch of levels, including financially.
I'm looking forward to continuing this long relationship with the city of Richmond. I hope it's going to be another 50 years that the Flying Squirrels are here in the city of Richmond. I also hope that working together we can get them the stadium to play that they deserve and that our fans deserve as well.
Through the years, it's really been interesting how the ballpark talk gets less and less. And it switched over to, my kid read 10 books and got a ticket to the game, and he ran the bases after the game, and that's all he talks about. Or my kid, we drive by the diamond and my kids start screaming Nutsy. We've changed the monologue by being active in the community and by being positive.
The Flying Squirrels, they're a part of what makes Richmond great. When you think Richmond, you think Flying Squirrels. And they're a part of the rise of RVA.
Pretty soon, The people that were in grammar school when we got here are going to be bringing their kids to games. We're going to be pretty soon getting into our second generation of Squirrels fans, and I look forward to that. When we stand at the front gate like we all do every night, to have somebody coming in holding the hand or carrying a baby saying, my dad brought me these games, my mom brought me, and now I'm bringing my kid. Like, I'm looking forward to those days. Like, that's the personal connectivity that this franchise has made with people. And that's why it's so powerful. This is not a normal situation. You can go to a lot of great cities around the country, and people all over the country do a great job. The connection in the heart from us to our fans is something that doesn't happen very many places. And that, to me, is what the Richmond Flying Squirrels has become, and I think it'll only get better in the future.
And welcome back to FSI Field, and we're joined once again by Zach Houchins, and first baseman, third baseman, outfielder for the Richmond Flying Squirrels, and a hitter. We're going to talk some hitting today, and you're talking hitting. It starts with the baseball bat, and you brought us a new one today.
I did, brand new. Haven't hit a ball with it, straight out of the wrapper this morning.
What was this, 33.5 is the size, you use 33.5 inches, why that size?
You know, my first year of rookie ball, I was using a 32-inch bat, 30 weight.
Yeah.
And 32 was a little too small, but the 30 was perfect for perfect for the weight, you know. So my next year, I figured out there was actually different bats out there rather than just the pro stocks teams give you. And I found these right here. It's one of the smaller bats that people use. Smaller barrels, smaller knobs. But, you know, I used it because I like equally weighted bats and tried it. And I've used it ever since 2015. This exact size, this exact weight.
Well, it's been working pretty well, and that's a birch bat also. I know some guys use maple or ash or a different type of wood, but birch is a little bit lighter, isn't it?
It is. It's a little, you know, lighter. The more you hit with it, the denser it gets. So it's harder to break. Balls come off the bat harder. One of my favorite bats all around.
So it seems like you like a small light bat. So
Yeah.
Why is that? Quicker swing?
I've always been about, you know, just knowing where the barrel's at, barrel control, bat control. Not striking out was a big part of my game back in college, and it's kind of gone downhill. But I know where the barrel's at, and I tend to find, you know, hit more doubles, homers now.
Speaking of the barrel, we're going to talk about your pregame routine some. So in batting practice, takes 3 rounds each day, and we're going to go through the different things that he's looking to do in each round. So round 1, your first round, you're getting the ball outside. What are you looking to do?
You know, I'm basically looking just keep a good direction and hit this ball to the second baseman hard. Don't want to get under it because it's already, you know, good direction is going to help me stay on top of this ball. Getting under the ball and trying to hit it backside you're probably going to fail at it. So I want to try to hit this ball on the ground. It's going to lead to more line drives in the game. So basically, first round is just I'm taking, you know, not too many swings, but, you know, good directions back, forward. And when I go to hit this ball, I don't want to lean over. I want to stay here and just think about driving this to the ball, back knee, and the hands all at the same time, going through it.
So the pitch is outside. You're wanting it to take it to your right. You want to take the right side of the field.
Right.
Let's give it a shot.
Yeah. What does this look like at full speed?
You know, I don't want to try to hit this ball, you know, to the first baseman because now during the game I'm going to be even later. You know, guys throwing 95. I can't try to, you know, hit it that way. I want to try to hit it more towards the gap than anything. All right, let's give this a try.
All right, pretty good contact. So round two in your BP,
Yeah.
you get the ball inside. What are you trying to do?
Scoot this up a little bit. Round 2, still trying to keep, you know, good direction. But this time, instead of hitting the ball that way, or I'm not trying to pull it down the third baseline, I want to hit this ball over the shortstop. I want to hit this one in the air.
Let's see it.
All right, let's do it. So same thing, just keeping good direction. And I didn't hit it in the air.
Let's do one more try.
Let's do it again.
Try it one more time.
That's why you take batting practice.
Yeah, this is what BP's for. It's usually not this early. There we
There
go.
it is.
That's definitely getting out of here. And then round 3, your third round and final round of BP. What you got?
Same thing. I'm just now this one, instead of being outside or inside, I want it right down the middle, and I'm just trying to drive this ball right back up the middle.
All right, let's see
That's
it.
There it is.
There you go.
On the money.
Yeah.
That was sweet.
Yeah, that's definitely extra bases. That's the 2-base hit. That's going to wrap things up for this episode of Flying Squirrels Insider. Thanks so much for joining us in this week's episode. Thanks to our entire crew. Thanks to Jake. Thanks to Zach. We will talk to you again in a couple weeks.
Production funding for Flying Squirrels Insider is made possible in part by
Secure Testing Services, providing 24-hour on-site drug and alcohol testing for businesses. And by
Smell gas? Act fast. Don't just stand there. Leave the area. Get out. Go where the smell is no longer present and call 911. Making you aware, keeping you safe. We're Richmond's Natural Gas Safety Awareness Program.